Excellent, excellent. So, it is my pleasure to introduce my guest today, which is Ildi Racz. Ildi is from a company called Antplanners, antplanners.com. Ildi has put together an amazing tool, which is to help business owners really be able to plan and stay on track with what their purpose is and what their goal is in life. And I was introduced to the Antplanners, thinking that I could reinvent the wheel, and that Ildi didn't know what she was doing. So Ildi did multiple different Antplanners for me because I wanted, a day to a page, and I wanted this and I wanted that. And guess what? I've got the standard Antplanner, and I love it. And I didn't need to reinvent the wheel. So Ildi, your Antplanner is designed for business people.
Yes. Um, the Antplanner is really designed to take you on a journey. And this is why I always talk about changing your journey and start making friends with your own time, because um, you can use a planner like a diary and just make notes and never really use it as an amazing business tool, or you can make the conscious decision that you use your planner at its best and use it as an accountability tool and allow your planner to be your best accountability buddy and help you scale your business. The choice is pretty much yours. What the N planner does compared to other planners, it helps you with some specific pages and tick boxes and spaces specifically designed in the planner to make this journey a bit easier.
Do you know there's two things that I super love about the Antplanner, and I'm going to tell you a very funny story because I think people that haven't experienced the Antplanner will understand when they see it, or if they've got one, they might actually not realise what I'm talking about. Number one is I actually met with one of our Connect Her ladies, and she was flicking through her Antplanner, and I went, "Oh, your planner's got lovely coloured pages at the front. What's that?" And what it actually was her her vision board. And I didn't even know that the vision board existed. So there's mine. You can't really see it, but there's mine. And I started actually doing a vision board. So this was a few years ago, and I have one side which is for me, for family and personal, and the other side which is based around business. So I use mine a bit differently, split it into two. I suppose you can do it however you like. But what I found was I started ticking things off my vision board. I also take a photo of it, and I have that as my screenshot on my on my camera as well, phone as well. So that is one thing that I have a visual every single day that I can open up, that's beautiful and colourful. It means something to me, and it's something that I can connect with. So that is number one that I absolutely love about the Antplanner, is having that vision board option. And of course, you do workshops on vision boards for the
Well, Lee,
Antplanner.
here's the thing. We all buy planners, various different planners, but the reality is that you flick through quite a lot of pages before you hit the real weeks or the months. But what I would suggest that if you bought an end planner before you hit January or now October, very soon, stop and actually look at those first pages. Why? Because whether you believe it or not, my 7 steps amazing system that I teach to everyone on how to use the planner is literally on the first page. It's all in there. And then if you flick one more page, then you bump into the vision board. And if you don't skip the next couple of pages, then you'll see your year at glance. and I strongly suggest that the end planner does take you on a journey, and don't skip pages just because you're not inspired to what to do with them. If you find yourself in that space, then join the Antplanners Anonymous group and ask a question. Ask us how to use those pages and how to make the planner work for you. Because if you use the planner at its best, then you'll find what Lee just said. You'll be inspired every single day to do something more about your business and to grow your business. And I guess that's where the magic really happens. And that's what I'm passionate about.
Absolutely. And what I actually do is that time between Christmas and New Year, I collect up magazines leading up, and then I've already cut out quite a few, and then I sit down that time between Christmas and New Year and I pop them in and work out what is truly going to be my vision for the year, and even a couple of things I've cut out from the year before and reposted back into this
May
year.
I just
So
suggest something? If you are not a
yes,
cut and paste kind of person like myself, I do not do cut and paste. It's not my thing. Then just write. The most
yeah,
amazing things come out when you put your motivational thoughts on those two pages. I usually have my favorite quotes on it. I have my values. I have my mission statement. And if that is refined during the year, because I have the awesome erasable pens and highlighters, I actually rewrite those passages so that I get inspired every time I feel down. It's the page that you have to you want to go back and use it as an inspirational tool when you kind of wake up in the morning and think, why on earth am I even getting out of bed today? So
there it is. Yeah,
your planner has to inspire you to why you are in business, why are you doing what you're doing, and help you, uplift you.
absolutely. So that is my number one favorite at the beginning. The other one is your year, your map of your year. And one thing that I learned at your course, Ildi, and I thought I was pretty organised and pretty good with managing how I spend my time and what I do. But one of the things that you really highlighted, and I think it's something that we all forget, I particularly forget because I haven't had children, so I don't even think about school holidays, or that just doesn't even come into my realm of thinking. Of course, it has to with Connect Her because we have, people can't come at different times because of school holidays. But one of the exercises you did is you got us to write down all the public holidays, all the school holidays, everything that's going to impact your business. Take out your weekends if you don't work weekends, and all of a sudden where you think you've got 52 weeks to do business, it's like, no, that's not right. It works out, it might only be 40 weeks, or you might want to take holidays yourself. So it might, work out to 32 weeks and all those sort of things. So that was a huge eye opener.
Well, you know what I found that we're talking about SMART goals all the time, and we kind of try to make them realistic and make them really work for us. But what we forget is that we need to put everything in the context of how much available time we have. And I guess the year at glance really helps you work out exactly how much time you have. And I still remember that workshop where Lee almost fell off her chair and said to me, I just realized that I'm setting myself up for failure because I thought I have a lot more time than what I really have. And I guess that's the key. Knowing exactly how much productive time you have will influence how you will set your goals and how high you will actually set the mark. Because if the goal is way too much for the available time that you have, then you are literally setting yourself up for failure. And this is where you hear so many people saying, oh, I don't set goals, it just
They never
never
work. I never
works.
reach them.
So I think it all starts with working out exactly how much time you have. And I can't emphasize enough that your year at glance, if you skip it, you have no clue how much time you have. And I think it's the magic starts there. And this is why I keep saying again and again and again, do not skip pages. just trust me, trust the system. I've been doing it for 5 years now, almost 5 years now, Lee, in a month of 5 years.
Gosh.
I've been doing it for quite some time now, so it works. It really, really works. You just have to follow the system and run with it and do it. So yes, but I think it is one of my favorite pages too, because it does it does put everything in a different light, and it shows you exactly how much time you have. And you know what? That's where you find out if you need to actually make more time for your business, because there's two ways. It's not just finding out. It's giving you the power of making decisions.
Absolutely. And I mean, look, that's just in the first couple of pages. We haven't even gone into a month or a week yet. One of the other things that I have really done, I was listening to a podcast, and it was, about visualization and about really being in touch with what your intentions are. And one of the things was that you spend 5 or 10 minutes setting what your intentions are for the day. I've got my gorgeous little book, and I sit down and I write my intentions for the day. I've actually put it in my planner now, so that between 6:30 and 7 a.m. is a beautiful little square, and it's not that early on a Saturday and Sunday, but I've got that square, my intentions, and that is my time. And it could be for someone else that's their meditation time, their walk time, but that is non-negotiable. So I do it at that time of the morning, so that I do it. And it's amazing how better I feel in myself that I can, that I've got it in there. And I like having non-negotiables. So what you can move and you won't. You've sometimes you can't move, having to pick the kids up from school or taking them, to the dentist or whatever. They're non-negotiables, that you have to have them in there.
I'm definitely a big believer of time blocking. And if you are doing time blocking the right way, you end up having this amazing puzzle. And I do look at it sometimes as a puzzle, because if something happens, you have some puzzle pieces that you still have to piece together. So and this is why I always talk about not growing to-do lists, because in the end, if something is already in your plan, then probably it is important. You prioritize it for a reason. So don't just dump it back on a list, but actually find another spot for it. One of the big tricks that I found over the years when it comes to time blocking is that I stopped having a separate category for myself, because I found that I would be the first thing that I would trade in for something else. So I decided that I'm as important as my family and my children and the school pickups and the school drop-offs and the dentist appointments. So all that time that I spend on myself for my health and for my sanity are pretty much unmovable objects in my planner. So they get in my planner with pink, and they stay there, because when I look at my planner, pink is literally non-negotiable. It's really rare that I move pink. And from there, everything else is just little blocks of time that I move around and make sure that I find time for everything that needs to be fitted in the week. It takes a bit of time and a bit of practice, but if you persevere with it, it becomes second nature. And what's really interesting and what it does to you is that it gives you a much clearer image of what's happening in your life and in your week. And I always suggest that don't just time block for the things that you already know up front. Make sure that you have some empty squares for those things that you can't really think of right now. Make sure that you have those buffers, because they make sure that your plan is doable. And if something comes up, you have space to negotiate and move around. So time blocking is just one of the best things ever.
I use it. Before I met you, I was very much a color code girl, and used to block time out of my then diary until I moved to the planner, the Antplanner. But what I actually found is I would sit there and go, okay, this is what I need to get done I need to block that time in, and I now switch off my phone, or actually I've got a preset message that I just shoot out, and I say to people, if you want me to call back, text back, I'll call you back. But I've actually become more more strategic with how I spend my time. Where before, when I had a diary, I'd cross that out, and I'll do that another day. And but with the planner, because it's so well planned out, I look at it and go, well, if I move that, this has got to go here. And so I'm a little bit more rigid, which I have to be, otherwise I don't get things done. One of the things that I've been able to achieve this year is I finished some study, which I'd been putting off for quite a while, but I actually finished and got all my accreditation, which is because I created a new colour that was for my personal development and my training. So, and I would block it in. So, it's, if you really want it, there's time there. You can do it.
Absolutely. Look, there's nothing more powerful than color in a planner. And I know that some people don't really believe me on this, but try it. If you are just one of those people who just grab a pen and write in the stuff in the planner and are hoping for the best, trust me, just go back and color in a week and see the clarity that comes with seeing everything at a glance. It's just brilliant. And treating your time like a big puzzle is actually helping you. It will help you. I promise you that it will help you with prioritizing and fitting in the important things in your week. And it becomes a lot easier to postpone those things that are not important. And I have a little rule. If I pushed a task 3 times out of the week, then probably it's not important and I don't have to do it. So I actually drop it. It's obvious. If it doesn't make the cut 3 times, it means that it's not important in any shape.
It's out, off it goes. Yeah,
absolutely. Or I find someone else who does it for me, because obviously I'm lacking the passion and the energy and the commitment to actually do it. It might be important in some shape or form, but then if it's not my strength, and if it will take me 3 or 4 times longer than it would take someone else, then why would I spend that time on it?
Absolutely. And also, Ildi, there's no passion behind it. So if there's no passion, you don't necessarily do it 100%. You just do it. We were actually talking on a Connect Her meeting this morning, and one of the ladies is a bookkeeper, and she loves numbers, where I'm just like, numbers, they're not my friend. So, I'm better off giving her numbers, where she loves words, where she'd be better off getting someone to do her blog post, for example. So it's knowing your strengths and working it into your planner as well. So absolutely. Now, Ildi, one of the things that I have is I go to loads and loads of networking events, being involved with Connect Her, obviously. So this week, I'm going to 3 Connect Her events. And one of the things that I do is I block out my time. Now, at the moment here in Victoria, there's no travel. So it's just a block for the time, because I can just log on with Zoom. But we've got to make sure that we block in time to travel or to follow up. And as I said, my week this week is just got so many blocks of out networking. So what do you suggest to people that are out networking with blocking time?
What I really find interesting about networking, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not even the getting to the networking event or participating in a networking event, is the after work. And we lose sight often of those connections and coffee catch-ups. I still owe, for example, a coffee catch-up to Linda. Hi, Linda. I'm still here.
Linda's on with us, yeah.
So, but what I mean is that we often go to networking events. We spend the money, we spend the time, we make the effort to be there and to be present, but then we don't have a purpose and we don't have a goal with it, and then we don't have a follow-through system when it comes to how to make the most of those events. And the other thing that I find that takes time. It doesn't happen in a blink of an eye. And I mean, Lee, you've been a networker forever
I
now,
know. Yeah. Yeah.
and and I think it's not an easy task to actually make the most of networking. Or at least that's what I found. It takes time to not just go to networking events, but actually make the most of those networking events and create those meaningful connections. So
So one
and
of
also
the, I'll just so everyone knows, so I had never met Ildi, never heard of it, never heard of an amp planner, had no idea. And I'd go to networking events, and I used to run other networking events. And people would say to me, oh, you've got to meet Ildi. She's got this fantastic amp planner. You've got to meet Ildi. And eventually we actually did meet. And we've had some amazing connections. We've been able to connect other people for each other as well. So it's not just about the connections that we've made together, but also and Kylie Bonner, actually, our leader in WA, she said it beautifully, that we're like a web. So networking is like a web that's got all these little branches out, and that's exactly what's happened with us. And that was because we followed up.
Absolutely. And look, the reality is that networking for small businesses is one of the most and main tools when it comes to marketing. Most of us who are running small businesses, or we are solopreneurs in many cases, we don't have the finances to pay for big ads and have our brands in front of big audiences. So we can't really shoot wide. We have to be very targeted and very conscious on how we use our time and how we make the most of it. And networking is probably the best ever platform to get in front of the right audience with your targeted message. And if you have a good follow-up system and you spend the time, and I can't emphasize enough, it's all about spending that time afterwards to connect, then it's probably the best marketing system ever.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because what we actually find is that 90% of people are more likely to buy based on a recommendation from a friend. So if you are there getting connected, meeting people, building those relationships, building that community, and building relationships and connections, that is, people will start to refer business to you. They will refer other people, and it's that web. But they've got to know, like, and trust you, which means that you've got to be regular at a meeting. You have to follow up, do what you say you're going to do with gusto, and make sure there's an urgency around it, that you don't sort of put it on the too hard basket, which is again where your planner comes in, putting it into the planner that this is what I've got to do, this is the follow-up, this is what's required to build that relationship.
I totally agree. Why are we telling all
I knew
this?
you would. That's why I had you on. Only because you'd agree. Wouldn't have you on if you didn't agree with me. No, I'm only joking.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know my humour.
Are we going to divulge the secret, Lee?
Oh my gosh, I am so looking forward. I was doing little sneakies out to the people on our Patterson Lakes event today, but I am so excited because, as I said, I tried to reinvent the wheel with Ildi, with I need a week to a page, I need a day to a page, and I need this and I need that. I didn't need any of it. What I needed was Ildi's amp planner. But we have been working on a project together, haven't we, Ildi?
We are reinventing the wheel.
We're tweaking the wheel. We're tweaking it. We're putting some little, those little clips that wiggle when you're riding a bike on. We're making it just, jingle a bit. So I've printed off the copy of the cover. Can I share it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. I'm going to see if I can share my screen. I don't think I can. I'm not that technically savvy. So look, ladies, can you see this? It is the Networkers Planner 2021. So this is what we've been working on with Ildi, and it's a collaboration of using what is an amazing product. I've done 81 podcasts with Connect Her, and probably about 70 of them I've talked about Antplanners. That's how much it has really assisted me and also my business. I just think it is amazing. We have worked in with it. Also, the things that I've found that you need to do to stay connected and build really good connections within networking. So we have got it's my drum roll. The Networkers Planner, and it is really there to support businesses that are out networking and meeting different people for their business, so that they have got a way of staying connected.
Now, here's the thing. You might wonder, how is it going to be different? This planner that we created with Lee is designed to have the right tick boxes, the right spaces to keep networking at front of mind, but not just the events themselves, but what needs to happen afterwards and what needs to happen before you even land in the networking space. Because before you even go to a networking event, you need to know what kind of connections do you want to make, who do you want to meet, how many new prospects you want to bump into, how many new connections you need to grow your business. It will actually bring to front of mind not just networking as such, I mean the event itself, but it will prompt you to think a little bit before you go to a networking event, and it will make you think about what you need to do after the event. And hopefully it will actually help you make networking your most important and truly sensational marketing tool, because it can be if you are using it the right way.
It's interesting, Ildi. We have a section which we've only introduced this year in 2020 with Connect Her, which is your best connection. And what we ask everybody to do just before we finish up, we ask them, who is your best connection for the month? So it's not somebody that's going to be, it's not your target market as such. It's somebody that we can go out with connected ears and listen and find somebody that is going to be who you need to connect with for the month. So, and we try and drill it down to 3 things. So one of the ladies today was looking to women that are, so women, number 1, in their 40s to 50s, who can give 5 minutes of feedback. So that's all you need. So guess what? In the Networkers Planner, we actually have a section that you can create who your best network connection is for the month. So it doesn't matter which networking group you go to, whether it's a Connect Her meeting, a BNI, whether it's Motivating Mums or whatever. It doesn't matter who, or even if you're out at a party or you're at a cafe, or it will give you a succinct, clear vision of who your connection is for that month, so that everyone else knows how clear it is as well. I wrote a few of them down because there were some really good ones. There was a lady that was looking for somebody that is actually on today. This was Di Mason, who somebody that is struggling with high energy bills at the moment and needs to look at how they can be looked at. Another business was looking for an allergy sufferer. Someone else that was looking for connections in Western Australia. So it was easy for us to know who to look for the month. So we've got that in the planner, so you can be prepared. You're not on the fly thinking, oh, who is it that I would like to connect with this month? You're going with purpose.
Linda, whether you believe it or not, we've been talking about this planner for probably 2 years now, with Lee, on how could we make it really happen, and how could we actually help networking be that truly amazing marketing tool. And I'm so glad that we just had that moment. We had a conversation, one of those coffee connections from Connect Her.
Yes.
And we started to chat about it, and the more we were chatting, we just looked at each other. What stops us from actually creating it and launching it, and giving it to you guys to actually use it? It's everything's there. All the knowledge was there. The planner is already there. So it was really just tweaking it and tuning it, fine tuning it to become the best tool ever. I think it's going to be one of the best tools ever when it comes to networking and keeping networking at front of mind.
Or anyone that's got leads within their business can use it as well. If you've got leads coming in.
Well, it's networking is not just going to events. Networking is having those coffee catch-ups, the one-on-ones, those creating meaningful connections. I think networking is more than just an event that you rock up at. Networking is creating that network. Just like Kylie said, it's a web. It's about bringing people that you don't know together.
Absolutely. And there's so many ways that you can connect to different people, which, and you just don't know until you start listening and just being mindful as well. So there's a couple of ways that you can get your hands on pre-ordering or pre-buying, actually, pre-purchasing. So you can go to Antplanners.com, and Ildi's got different planners. So there's wellness advocates, there's now the networkers planner, and there's the standard Ant planner as well. But I tell you what, if you are on this and you go out and you network and you have leads coming into your business, I really do think that you will be pleasantly surprised. It is a fantastic planner. The other way is to go to our website, which, I forgot to put that in there. How was that? I've got my own website. Fabulous. It's on the front page and it says order yours now, and you can order now at connecther.com.au. There's 3 little boxes and it's up the top there. First thing that you are going to see. So it is a fantastic tool, and I think you've got a little special for pre-orders, pre-purchase, haven't you?
Yes. When you order your planner in the next 8 days, so before the end of the month, then what you will get with every order is this amazing sticker pack. There's 24 stickers per sheet, and there's a little bit of it's the social media sticker pack, and I'm not sure if you can see it. No, that way. Yeah. So holding it upside down.
Yeah.
But hey,
So we got LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Well done.
Podcast and blog. So it's pretty much 5 main areas when it comes to social media and using social media in your business. And of course, you will have a content planner, which, by the way, you probably have a much better one from Lee, because that's what you get when you connect her. But the stickers are it's a funny thing, because I'm not a sticker girl, and those of you who know me, you know that I never believed in washi tape and stickers and prettying up the planner. I'm a very much functional girl. But I have to say that these stickers did make a huge difference, because it's so much easier to just grab a little dot and put my LinkedIn posts right in my planner, and it reminds me quite nicely and visually that it's time to create or to post those things on different platforms. And again, social media is probably the most important marketing tool after networking for me when it comes to presence and building my business. So
And that's a really interesting point, Ildi, because when you do meet somebody offline, connect with them online. And if you meet somebody online, connect with them offline. So you really want to have that connection going both ways.
Lee, I know we didn't talk about this, but I just want to mention one thing, if that's okay with you. For
Oh,
those
I'm
of you
sure.
who have young people in your lives, students, year 11s, 12s, there's a student planner coming out. It's not
Oh,
launched. It's not, it's probably the secret that you are just getting and you are the first ones to hear about it. But keep an eye on on Antplanners website, because there's a student planner coming out in the next few days before the end of the week.
wow. Well, you heard it here on our Connect Her Lunch and Learn. Thank you for sharing that little secret. So two lots of announcements, which is fantastic.
Well, that's
So
just for young people. So if you really
yeah,
mean this and if you want to grow, then probably the Networkers Planner is going to be an amazing tool in the coming year to help you grow and keep networking at front of mind.
absolutely. Now, Ildi, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Don't pop off yet, but I just want everybody to know that the website to connect with Ildi, there's workshops, there's information, there's the Antplanners shop. There's so much on there besides just the shop. There's a blog. Pop onto antplanners.com.
Okay.
There's so much information. There's the podcast as well. So pop on there and have a look at antplanners.com. Don't forget to, if you would like to pre-purchase, go to connecther.com.au. We've got that on our very front page of our Connect Her website. Don't forget too that we've got our free training. There's also our podcast. There's lots of stuff there, and as Ildi alluded to, there's also our